Today I'm doing Dragon Ball Z games that were the worst of the worst, and there's quite a few bad Dragon Ball Z games out here, but here's the list of the games that honestly should probably not ever been made and really have almost no redeeming qualities. We'll start off with number 5 because it's a really special one because a lot of people seem to have really fond memories of it. Maybe because it was actually the first DBZ to actually come out in America, and it is Dragon Ball Final Bout. And this was anything but a good game. It was a clunky fighting game with annoying controls, shitty endgame because you got every character in like one playthrough. And the graphics were okay, but honestly nothing about this game was actually remotely even close to being good, and just kind of a waste of space.
At first you looked very strong, but you weren't such a big deal.
Number 4 is Legacy of Goku. I know a lot of people enjoyed this game for some terrible reason, and again I believe it's because it was the first Game Boy game to have a Dragon Ball Z game. But I don't understand why people enjoyed this short, low-budgeted, terrible filler waste of a game. It's just beyond me. Nothing about this game is good. But what pissed me off the most is I spent like $30 or $40 of my hard-earned 12 or 13-year-old money, and 4 hours later I was done with the game. I mean, what the fuck? It's just a total rip-off and not worth your time. Number 3 is Ultimate 22 for the PS1. Does anybody actually remember this game? Because it came out after the PS2 was well in its lifetime in America. And it is basically a humongous piece of dog shit. I don't know who the hell made it, but it's just so bad. The graphics were actually horrible, and the specials even look like shit, which is one thing that even Final Bout looks somewhat decent in. And the controls, just nobody likes this game, but I'm just reinforcing the idea that this is one of the worst Dragon Ball Z games. Alright, now here's my 2 favorite. Number 2 is Dragon Ball Evolution. If it wasn't bad enough that they completely destroyed Dragon Ball Z in America by making that horrible movie, let's talk about the movie game based off of it. Okay, this should have never been made. Look at it. Look at these graphics and cutscenes. I mean, the way that it flows and the way it tells the story, it almost makes you forget about the real Dragon Ball Z game, or that this is like making fun of Dragon Ball Z. And these fights are just, they look like Budokai, but without the skill and the decent graphics and the moveset and just about everything. So this game should have never, ever even been made, but it was, and somehow sold, I heard, and I don't know why, but it is terrible, terrible game, but not the worst. Let's get to the worst. Number 1 goes to DBZ Sagas, and I'll tell you why. I hate this game with every fiber of my being. The controls are awful. That much we already know. The gameplay itself just isn't very fun. The graphics are horrible, but the main issue, here it is, the glitches. Man, oh man, these glitches. I mean, they were game-breaking, as if you couldn't get past a certain point because of a glitch and had to restart the entire game, which was only like 6 hours to begin with. But yeah, it was that bad. And this is basically the Sonic 06 of Dragon Ball Z games. It is nothing but the developers taking a nice big shit on your face and you accepting it by buying it. Now, I did not buy this. I rented it when Blockbuster was still around before they, basically destroyed every independent video store and then got fucked in the ass a few years later. I rented it. Terrible. One of the worst games. It wasn't even worth renting for $5 back then, and whoever bought this, I am so sorry. I hope that you have recovered from the traumatic events of playing this piece of shit. But those are my top 5 worst Dragon Ball Z games, and there's a lot of them out there. So I would love to see some of your list. I hear this Game Boy one that I never even got a chance to play. I think it's called Tenkichi or something. I heard that was just awful, like really, really, really bad. So there's probably going to be on a lot of people's list, but these are my top 5. And if you think games like Tenkaichi or Burst Limit or even that game I just reviewed, Battle of the Z, is in the top 5, you can list them. But honestly, if you got to put up some really good proof to say that any of those games are as bad as these 5 pieces of fucking shit that I just listed. Next top 5, I'm all up for offers. If you want to say something, I was thinking something more anime-ish, but I might stick with games. You let me know. But either way, that is the end, and I hope you enjoyed. List yours below. List some ideas for top 5, even if it's like top 5 anime moments in a certain anime or something, or top 5 movie moments, or top 5 TVs. I will do all that stuff. But I want to see a list of the top 5 worst Dragon Ball Z games that you have personally played. And if you're not played 5, pick like 2 or 3.
Loser!
Give me all you got!